In the veiled chambers of the heart, where thoughts circle like moths around a distant flame, a man finds himself ensnared by the echo of a woman who turns away, not with cruelty, but with the indifferent grace of the moon slipping behind clouds. She doesn't pursue, doesn't plead, yet her absence carves rivers through his mind, an obsession born from the silence she leaves in her wake. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and comment below. What silences have haunted your thoughts in the dead of night? She emerges as the archetypal woman, a vessel of Jung's anima incarnate, her presence a quiet storm that stirs the depths without a ripple on the surface, her emotional self-worth an unbreachable fortress woven from threads of individuation. Not the one who clings or chases, but the enigma who ignores with purpose, her feminine attraction a magnetic pull derived from detachment, drawing him into the orbit of his own projections. The man, armored in ego's illusions, reveals unconscious behaviors, restless glances stolen in crowds, messages composed and deleted in the hush of midnight, all manifestations of the shadow self he projects onto her, seeing in her indifference the anima he has yet to integrate. Trauma psychology whispers here, past wounds from attachments ruptures fueling his fixation, a contrast to her stoic-like calm that resonates like a tuning fork struck in the void. Desire simmers in this mystery, his animus-driven pursuits clashing against her silent resonance, where stoic philosophy offers him false solace and control, yet the internal shifts begin, subtle as the first crack in ice, urging shadow work toward the light she unwittingly illuminates. In this archetypal dance, attachment dynamics entwine like vines, his ego projecting vulnerability as rejection, while she, rooted in emotional depth, becomes the mirror that reflects his unclaimed fragments, tension building in the unspoken space between pursuit and withdrawal. As shadows lengthen across the psyche's landscape, psychological tension mounts like a gathering tempest, the man's ego grappling with the projections that bind him to her image, her ignorance a provocation that exposes the anima's untamed call. Jung's shadow work demands this unveiling, where he casts upon her the fears of inadequacy buried in trauma's soil, attachment dynamics shifting from casual interest to an anxious grip that contrasts her resonant detachment. The first emotional turning point arrives in the quiet aftermath of an unanswered call, his mind replaying her voice like a phantom melody, desire flaring into obsession as stoic resolve crumbles under trauma's weight, resonance echoing in the silence that forces an internal glimpse of vulnerability. You feel the pull, don't you? The way thoughts loop endlessly, projection faltering as the mystery of her indifference stirs the animus within, creating dissonance that builds toward revelation. Deeper, the second turning point unfolds in solitude, him wandering empty streets at dusk, her face haunting every corner, emotional self-worth in her absence mirroring his lack, tension coiling as feminine attraction transmutes into a silent torment, clashing stoic endurance with the chaotic undercurrents of unhealed bonds. The third turning point whispers in a fleeting sighting, eyes meeting briefly before she turns away, attachment igniting a storm where desire meets dread, his ego's defenses cracking as shadow work resonates through the void, provoking the question of why her silence echoes louder than any word. Symbolic visions cascade like dreams half-remembered, mirroring the man's inner turmoil and tales that resonate with the pulse of everyday longing. Envision him seated at a cafe window, staring into the rain-swept street where she once walked, her indifference a symbolic veil that parts to reveal his projections, trauma's echoes in the droplets tracing paths down glass, contrasting her stoic grace with his restless heart. In relatable strokes, picture a man scrolling through social echoes late at night, her posts ignored yet devoured, attachment dynamics manifesting as thumbs hovering over words unsent, the anima haunting the glow of the screen like a ghost in the machine, mystery deepening as internal shifts ripple outward. Another narrative unfolds, a couple, once connected, now divided by an invisible chasm at a gathering, he approaches only to be met with polite distance, her emotional self-worth a quiet force that provokes his shadow, symbolic rivers diverging where desires once converged, tension peaking in the fourth emotional turning point as stoic philosophy meets Jungian depths in resonant harmony. You confront the resonance in these moments, the way silence amplifies the unspoken, feminine attraction drawing him into the labyrinth of self, where trauma psychology offers contrast to her individuated poise, storytelling weaving the threads of obsession into a tapestry of potential awakening. From this crucible of tension, empowerment rises like dawn piercing the night, the archetypal woman claiming her detachment as the sovereign act of awareness, her individuation a flame that consumes not him, but the illusions he clings to, shifting the narrative toward wholeness unbound by his gaze. She integrates the animus with effortless grace, emotional self-worth unyielding as trauma's contrasts resonate into pathways of healing, attachment dynamics evolving from chains to ethereal threads that dissolve in her silence. The man, ensnared no longer, experiences the fifth emotional turning point in surrender, desire transmuting into introspection, Jung's shadow work completing its arc as projections retreat, stoic resolve harmonizing with the mystery of rebirth where feminine attraction becomes a bridge to mutual depth. Her presence, once a haunt, now a catalyst for his own empowerment, awareness blooming in the space she vacates, individuation unfolding like petals in the sun. The woman who ignores with intention isn't cruel, she simply knows the power of her own light, and in its reflection he discovers his.